So you wanna teach English in Korea to live? Hi, I'm Emma. For today's video, I'm going to talk about teaching English in Korea. I've been working as an English teacher for a few years, so I know how the English education industry works in Korea. At first, the age of students you are teaching are usually kindergartners and elementary school students. This is because Korean English education is highly focused on reading and listening. In class, they have like a grammar, listening, and a lot of reading instead of speaking. That's the reason why many Koreans have been learning English for a long period of time, but we have a hard time to speak because of this education system. But we can blame the government. Actually, if you live in Korea, you don't have to speak English at all. I have no chances in daily life to speak English, to be honest, but I'm an English teacher, so I do practice. But actually, for most average people, they don't have to. Although they work in trade, they usually email, written form of communication tools, so they don't have to speak well. For this reason, Korean education system from middle school to high school are highly focused on reading, listening, so you have to understand. If you like young students, you're gonna be really satisfied with your job. And the second point I want to say that there are two routes to be an English teacher: public school and also private academies. So I want to talk about public schools at first. The reason why you can work for public elementary schools is that the government has a program which is called 원어민 선생님, means native English teacher. So government pays the foreign teachers. Because of that, the salary is not really high, but they also provide housing and the job is very secure. The good point is that you are getting paid during school breaks. And teachers are highly respected in Korean society compared to the Western culture. So the kids are quite respectful for their teachers. So the kids behave pretty well. So the work is not really difficult. But you can feel a little bit loneliness because most of Koreans cannot speak English very well and you might be the only foreigner. But you can get a lot of attention. And the other good thing is that you don't get that much workload because your language ability is limited. So many foreigners prefer to work in public schools, but I heard that it's very difficult to work in schools in Seoul. So it's very competitive, so you might be working in rural areas. Excepting for regular class, you can also have some after-school program. Many schools have this after-school English program also during school breaks, so you might work more. The second place you can work for is private academy, which is called 학원, and I'm also working for 학원. Usually, you can work for English kindergartens and also speaking-focused academies for elementary students. There are a lot in Gangnam area, Chidong, those areas, so they pay you more money definitely, but you have to work more hours. Compared to Korean teacher, you are not that much stressed out about the workload because you don't have to deal with their parents. If you work for an English kindergarten, you will work with a Korean teacher as well. The tuition fee of those kindergartens are pretty high. It's more of like 2 million. The working hours is 9 to 6 and there might be a lot of activities involved. They also provide you housing. Usually the place they are providing like one studio apartment and the room might be really small because in Gangnam area the housing prices is quite high. And there's also some academies for elementary students. More younger students want to develop their speaking ability before they go to middle school. It depends on the academy, but usually you have to work 1 to 8 or 1 to 10. It depends. Oh, I forgot to mention two other options. Working for international schools is a quite good option, but it's quite competitive. Actually, in Jeju Island, there is an English focused educational area. I don't know how to say that. So there are many international schools there, so you might apply for there. There are some international schools in Seoul as well, but that's quite highly competitive. The other option is teaching adults at private institutions such as 학원. The working hours are quite flexible. You have to usually work in very early morning or at very late night. They usually pay you hourly wages. If you can speak Korea, you might have more chances to work with high school or middle school students. Grammar terms are quite difficult. For example, you have to know subject, verb, complement, modifier, those kind of stuff, and you have to explain that in Korean, so it might be very challenging. I'd recommend you to work with younger students or adult learners who need to develop their speaking ability. It's a quite basic knowledge you need to know before coming to Korea to teach English. I hope you like it. If you want me to cover more deep dive information about this, feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching it, and I hope you have a beautiful, lovely day, and I will see you in my next video.